9015 there, wind gust over.
About 8 or 9 minutes. They're giving about a 500-foot broken layer now. With it. If our expected approach time is 35, we should be landing about 55. Thank you.
The state of Georgia is located in the southeastern corner of the United States. Although Washington, D.C. is our national capital, each state also has a capital city, and ours is Atlanta. Hi, my name is David Prophet, and I'm 14 years old. I live with my family in the northern suburbs of Atlanta in the small community of Alpharetta. Several county school districts surround Atlanta, and Alpharetta is nestled in the northern part of Fulton County. Approximately 206,000 people live in Fulton County, which is one of the largest school districts in the state of Georgia. Our county's school district extends 75 miles north to south and totals more than 420 square miles in area. Most of the people in the district live in the larger suburban centers immediately north and south of the Atlanta city limits. We have 16 high schools in the district for grades 9 through 12, 7 middle schools for grades 6 through 8, 52 elementary schools for grades 1 through 5, 1 vocational school, and 2 alternative schools. I am in the 8th grade and attend Haynesbridge Middle School. We have almost 1,000 students in our school with a faculty of 77, which includes our administrators. We attend school 5 days a week for a total of 180 days each year. The school term usually begins in September and runs into June. This is my neighborhood, and my house is located at the end of a cul-de-sac. My day begins at 6:30 each morning. The first thing I hear in the morning is my alarm clock. Then I get up and get ready for the school day. While I am getting dressed, my mother is preparing breakfast for the family. My mom and dad usually have orange juice, waffles with syrup, and coffee, but my favorite is cereal with cold milk. Sometimes I have waffles on weekends. My mother helps each of us get organized and off to a good start each morning. My little sister is only 6 years old and will begin first grade at one of the elementary schools next year. My dad works in downtown Atlanta and must also get an early start to drive through the morning traffic to his office.
David, breakfast is ready.
After breakfast, I walk to the bus stop to wait for our school bus with other friends who live in the neighborhood. Fulton County uses about 230 school buses that travel over 2 million annual miles to safely transport students to and from school. I live about 2 miles from Haynesbridge Middle School. Our bus ride takes us through beautiful wooded hills and countryside. Some of the people in our area raise horses or own other farm animals. Students who live closer to the school ride their bikes or walk. Sometimes their parents even drive them to school in the family car. Most of the students arrive at school around 8 o'clock. The teachers are waiting for us to begin another busy day. The school day officially begins at 8:20. Each student is assigned to a homeroom on their grade level with approximately 25 to 30 students in each class. Before homeroom begins, we have a chance to go to our assigned lockers for books and materials that we will need throughout the day. Some students go to the media center to return or check out new books. A few of them quickly finish homework assignments. But most of us go on to our homerooms after we wave or say hello to our friends. At 8:20, our school principal, Mr. Land, announces the official beginning of the school day. Mr. Crow is my homeroom teacher. After he takes attendance, the students listen to the morning announcements over the intercom. The announcements tell us about any schedule changes, contest we can enter, if we are going to have an assembly program, or gives the names of any students that should report to the office. Then we all stand together and say the pledge to the American flag. At 8:40, our formal classes begin. During the day, we will attend different classes, each taught by a different teacher. Our major studies are designed around a core curriculum. These studies include communication skills such as English, spelling, reading, writing, and listening, computation skills which cover mathematics, arithmetic, algebra, and using computers, social studies, and science. English is my first class, and Mrs. Baum is my teacher. We are working on the skills needed to write a good research paper. She explains each of the basic parts our papers should include. Today we are reviewing how to write a bibliography. After we practice each step of the research paper, she arranges for us to work in the Media Center to use the research materials. Our Media Center is a busy place, and 2 media specialists are in there to help us. Mrs. Esch helps students find good research material by using our reference books, magazines, and newspapers. Our topics for the research paper can range from famous people, the study of a country, or famous events. I chose to write my paper on the Civil War that occurred in America about 100 years ago. My second period class is mathematics with Miss Aaron. We are working on algebra skills. On assigned days each week, we also work with computers. I really enjoy computers, and I like to practice and design new programs on my computer at home. After second period, I rush to my locker to get the books I need for social studies class. In the 8th grade, we study all about our state and the many historical events that occurred here. My homeroom teacher, Mr. Crow, teaches our social studies class. He is showing us uniforms and weapons that were used during some of the battles in the Civil War that took place in our state. When this class is over, I head to the science laboratories for my next class. We are learning about the human body, and our teacher, Mrs. Burns, is explaining the structure of the skeleton. In addition to anatomy and physiology, we also study the earth sciences and physical science.
Very top. Remember I told you there are little lines, what are those lines called on the skull?
Just looking at that skeleton makes me realize that I am getting hungry, and lunchtime is coming soon. The school cafeteria is a busy place during the middle of the day. Our class eats lunch at 12:05. We have a choice of 2 different hot meals or a cold salad at the salad bar. Today we can choose between chicken and hot dogs. I'm having chicken. It is one of my favorites. All of the students are given cold milk to drink with their meals. My friend Edward likes this dessert and is trying to trade something on his tray for another dessert. After lunch, we go to our exploratory classes. At the beginning of the year, our parents help us choose the classes we would like to attend. One of the choices is foreign language, which includes classes in French, Spanish, and Latin. In my Spanish class, Senora Plattis is telling the students about a trip they can take with her during the summer to Mexico. She can only take a few students, and they must each pay their own way for the 1-week visit. She must be sure that each student who goes on the trip has a good understanding and knowledge of the geography and the culture of the country. They will also have to know how to speak the Spanish language without too much difficulty.
Vamos a México en junio, el 19 de junio, nos vamos a México.
Music is another exploratory choice. Students can select the chorus, the orchestra, or the school band. The music teachers also instruct individual students and small groups in playing the piano and the guitar. Chorus, orchestra, and band members practice carefully with their music teachers because they often perform for school assemblies or evening school meetings that our parents attend. They also enter county and statewide competition for outstanding musicians. The chorus has over 100 members and the band and orchestra over 50 members. They wear the school colors of red and blue when they are performing. Each year, the members perform in an annual school musical that the whole community comes to see. Some students select art as their exploratory course. Our two art teachers teach us many different forms of art. They want us to understand and appreciate all kinds of artistic and aesthetic expressions. Miss Taylor is showing a group how to create collages. Some of the students have been painting ceiling tiles that have been placed throughout the school building. Each tile is a scene that represents something in America. One of the students painted a scene of the Space Shuttle Challenger just a few weeks before it exploded during takeoff. Home economics is another choice for exploratory class. Boys and girls learn sewing and cooking skills. In one sewing class, the students are working on self-sculpture dolls and puppets. In another class, the girls are making outfits that can be worn to school. The cooking classes cover the basics of good nutrition and what makes a balanced meal. Each class has several opportunities to cook various foods. But the best part is sitting down to enjoy tasting the finished product. The Industrial Arts program is another popular choice. Students learn to design and construct projects. Some students have designed and built model homes. The model must match the floor plans exactly and can be taken apart to show each room. Other students are working with wood and metal projects. Special safety instructions warn the students to be careful while using the power tools. On Fridays, the 6th and 7th grade students have an extra enrichment class. These courses are designed to extend the basic curriculum, develop special talents, and broaden the interest of the students. They may choose an academic course which will help reinforce their core curriculum studies, or they may choose a non-academic course such as video production. These students are learning to operate the video equipment. During the 12-week course, they will write and film a short documentary, design and produce an original commercial, and take turns interviewing adults at our school. It is 2:10 and time for my last class, which is physical education. All students take health and physical education for one class period each day. It is a non-competitive program that emphasizes the development of personal skills in individual and team sports. Our uniforms are also the school colors of red and blue. At the end of each school year, we all study about the Olympics, and then we have 3 full days of Olympic Games. Scores are tallied, and the winning teams are presented with imitation bronze, silver, and gold medals made by the students in the art classes. Many individual students also win colored ribbons to take home with them. At 3:05, students return some books to their lockers or get the books and papers they will need for homework. The buses line up in the school parking area to take the students back to their homes in all corners of our community. Over the intercom, Coach Kennett begins to dismiss students to go to their buses. Some of the students are making plans for the rest of the afternoon that is ahead of them. Others will remain after school to participate in intramural sports or to work on a homework project in the media center. I am going home to work on a new computer program and to talk to my parents about the Spanish class trip to Mexico. So long for now. Come back and join us again, and we will tell you more about what it is like growing up in America.
One five Airborne Gust Taylor.
They're giving about a 500-foot broken layer now. If our expected approach time is 35, we should be landing about 55. Thank you.
ジョージア州はアメリカの南東部にあります。ワシントン市がアメリカの首都ですが、それぞれの州にも州都があり、ジョージア州の州都はアトランタ市です。こんにちは、僕の名前はプロフィット・デイビッド、14歳です。僕はアトランタの北アルファレッタという小さな郊外に住んでいます。アトランタの周りにはいろいろな学区があります。アルファレッタはフルトンカウンティの北部にあります。